Cool Monday, everybody. I hope y'all jumped in on that Aries full moon that was going on. It was cracking. It went down up in here. So definitely shout out to the Sirius Cipher. It went down last week. We ended up in a conversation that lasted. I had to say, hey, I got to respect time. I got to respect the time of everyone because we get so caught up in these discussions. And this is exactly what my intention was, is that we were able to really be able to look at things and bring it from all of our different perspectives. And we get the most out of it when everybody is hitting it from their angle, right? So the shit's so dope to me. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So yeah, but today is Magical Monday, my loves. Magical Monday. And I wanted to talk about something that I think that I laid a little bit more by the wayside. However, it has always been the root of the entire conversation of that work that I've done. And I'm talking about the book that I wrote quite some time ago, but published last year, Holistic Appeal. And if you don't know, this book right here is a concise approach to get us in alignment with our most appealing self. Now, I got it all listed up about how we connected to that sexual energy and all of this other shit, thinking, oh, this is going to make it hot. This is going to make it pop. This is going to make it crack, right? But I wanted to make sure that we got some clarity out here in these streets that, like, this ain't no book that's giving you instructions on how to get your groove on. But that would be fun, huh? But it's not that book, huh? This is a book that's really an approach to get us in alignment with that energy. And I use that particular energy because this is a special type of energy. See, we get it twisted with sexual energy where we think that it's all about a sexual experience. But having high sexual energy is also healing energy. And those of us that got it are natural healers out here in these streets. And it's the same as the highly creatives. Because sexual healing and creative energy, they all carry the same frequency. So holistic appeal is all about us connecting to all of those energies. And I deal with three main components. Now, while this is broke down in several chapters and everything, but basically in a nutshell, because you got to get that shit. It's at prettypriestess.com. It's on amazon.com. It's in hardcover. It's in paperback. It's an ebook. Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Three major components to that holistic appeal. This is the frequency. This is the awareness. This is the mentality. Now, the frequency of appeal, let's get it. It's all about being intentional. It's all about us tuning into the frequency. Now, if y'all, any of y'all from the old school, didn't know about the radio stations, and if you were ever in a car or had a radio of your own, and for me, when I moved here to Pittsburgh, we used to have one of the black radio stations carried one of the only black radio station here carried the strongest radio signal. So I could turn it on and I could just twist my wrist one way, bam, it would connect right immediately. But then as time went on, I guess they sold that signal and moved to a different space. And it wasn't so easy to tune in. And so I had to make a lot of adjustments and made some fine tuning so that I can tap into that particular frequency. And it's not so different when you're tuning into the frequency of not just sexy, but your signature of sexy. Because you got to, when you're tuning into that and you're doing that fine tuning because you want to get it adjusted to just your free, not the signal that everybody else got, right? But your particular station. You got to believe it, know it, and show it. I'm not going to go with believe, because believe, it holds that energy to me that, yeah, I'm going to go along because you said so. I'm going to just, you say, I'm going to just go on the strength of what you say. You need to know this. It's important to know. When I put this book out and I talked about that whole sexy energy, I think that on some small levels, especially individuals that's really not aware of how the energy is expressed, may have taken this as being a manual that really could have helped us enhance our sexual experience. Well, that's cool too. Yeah, well, you know, it's a possibility, you know. Yeah. But I hope that we recognize the difference out here in these streets from sexy and slutty. Because sexy and slutty is two completely different frequencies. And we need to know the difference. Because a lot of folks got it twisted in their head that being slutty, being hoish, that this is where it's at. And this is going to make you sexy. And in my opinion, if this is the thought process, then you got life bent. See, sexy is about self-love, security, that creative expression of your most appealing self. And slutty is desperation, insecurity, and clinging to your lower self in a cry for attention. We got to know the difference, because we can't be out here in these streets just hooking the hell up. That's a dangerous move. Now, I know that this probably ain't gonna get a lot of popularities. It sounds like some old church lady teaching, close your legs, don't give it up type of mentality. Grandma gave us that lesson, huh? But we need to recognize the real. See, you intertwine with people's energy fields. You take on their energetic patterns, their blocks, the shit, fuck around demon out here, you catching that shit too. You open yourself up to any negative shit they hold, spiritual parasites, all that shit. Because sex, let's not get it twisted. This is a blending together of the souls. This is a sacred ceremony. This is a sacred practice. A blending together of souls and DNA. And you finna do that with this sad, weak motherfucker you met at the club that don't give a fuck about you or all of the kids that he done created out here in this world. Or this trifling ass hoe. This out here, she down to fuck you, your friends, it's whatever. You blending your soul with them. That's why we got so many stupid ass kids out here. I'm not going to keep going on it with this. You see what I'm saying? And I love the kids, but there's some stupid ass kids in these streets out here. Got life all twisted, whatever. Sex ain't casual. It ain't a spur of the moment act. It ain't let's just go out here and fuck these cats for fun. It ain't nothing to be taken lightly. This ain't a game. And when you consider sex as a meaningless act and have multiple partners, everybody threesoming. And I'm not even really sure if everybody, see, this is where I'm talking about that whole slutty frequency, is it being connected to desperation and the lower self? Because there's so many people that's not on board. Like, how in the fuck you expect to have somebody be faithful to you after some shit like that? And that's on any side, fam. We get into these relationships where you want it to be you and another individual. Now, if you down for the share, then that's, you know what I'm saying? And you feel like that you connected with these people's energetic field and you would like to blend together your soul and your DNA with a group of motherfuckers, then rock on with your cock on. But I'm talking about people that's acting surprised out here in these streets because they taken and considering sex as a meaningless act and got multiple partners and wondering why things ain't working out for them quite the way that they want them to be. We get connected to this energy, and I'm not even 100% sure if a lot of these cats is on board with it. I know I looked at some women who got down with threesomes with their husband, their man, their significant other, and in their eyes is a soul cry. Why are you doing this to yourself? I'm thinking. Because one thing I know for sure, I've been married for some time. And I know for sure if I needed to spice up my sex life, I ain't finna bring nobody to hell. Like, that ain't gonna help me. For me personally, metaphysics aside, I'm bringing some other woman into my bed watching my husband fuck another broad because she ain't touching me. I don't like that. I don't want that. Don't touch me. Now, if that's what you like, that's what you like. No shade to you. Whatever. Blending together of souls. Don't forget. Be mindful. But if that's what you like, that's what you like. However, I don't. So when the hell I'm gonna bring you in my bed for? What the fuck? Just shared my man with you? That'll break my heart. I don't think that I'm emotionally equipped for no shit like that. To sit there and watch my man fuck somebody else and I'm good with it. That ain't a good feel for me at all. And vice versa. Let's say, okay, you don't like no women in the bed with you. Let's bring a dude in the bed because y'all want to spice things up. I don't know how charged up my husband's going to be with that. See, because his perspective is that if there's two men in the bed with a woman, it's not a threesome, it's a train. Completely different perspective. And no one's good with that. And it's difficult for him, he was saying, from back when he dealt with females that was down for shit like that. I know the times have changed. That there was no real respect at the end of the day. See, because we open the door to disaster, and then when it come waltzing through, doing the motherfucking Cabbage Patch through the door, we sit back and wonder why so. Because when we consider sex as a meaningless act and have multiple partners, our aura gets shattered. Because we're consuming their energy. and the energy of everybody else that they fucked with. And when that happens to us, we end up feeling overwhelmed, anxious. We got all types of low vibe and energy going on. We clingy and shit. I just thought you might wanted to know. The price is wrong, bitch. I just thought you might wanted to know. See, and when these thoughts, these feelings, they might not even be your own shit, these thoughts and feelings. Your frustration tolerance, your awareness. I'm just saying. Another component. Let's be aware. Let's be clear. Because we talked about the frequency. So let's look at the awareness, because we talked about the potentials with sex, the price of that. I highly recommend that your sexual connection is with somebody that cares and loves and supports you. I promise you the energy of that. See, and this is why people feel lifted up from a sexual experience, right? This is why we had sex, we feeling good. And I'm sure that there's some guys, I done heard some stories about, I met this dude at the club and he put it on me and I was feeling good for days. And then, well, whatever. Okay, you get to do that. I'm just here. This how I see it. Let's be aware of another thing that affects us getting in alignment with our most appealing self. That's us being aware of what's frustrating us out here in these streets. Like I'm frustrated with the irresponsibility of sex. We got to pay attention to the things about how we're being triggered out here in these streets. We got to know when it's time to let go of some shit. We got to adjust our thoughts. Thoughts are things. I know y'all heard that little cliche. I like it though, because it's true. It's real talk. We got to release the baggage and do ourselves a favor, because these thinking errors that we got, they make our life so much more complicated out here in these streets, fam. In the book, we talk about all types of thinking errors. Assuming that our negative emotion reflect the way that things really are. That's some bullshit. We tell ourselves that things should be the way we hope or expected. And when you sitting around holding expectations behind what you think it should be, you get yourself into a space disqualifying the positive. I got a whole bunch of shit in here. I mean, we got a whole bunch of thinking errors that come straight from evidence-based practice of cognitive behavioral therapy. I wanted to bring those in because they're illustrations of just how we can get our thought patterns into a space where our joy is stolen and it completely lowers our vibration and shit. And ain't nothing hot about a swole ass, attitude having, aggravated ass, pissed off individual. I'm done. This whole masculine and feminine energy being balanced, being aware of what that looks like for us, right? Because that masculine energy is that aggressive, assertive energy, right? When that's good for that. And then that feminine energy is that cooperative and that softer energy, right? And when is that good? But harmonizing being the key. And not letting nobody tell you about what in the fuck your energetic expression needs to be, and telling you you can't be yourself. Because there's some women out here that just pose up as highly masculine. I got a lot of masculine energy too. All woman right here, baby. Trust. I got a masculine energetic field especially when I'm frustrated about something. And we got so many men telling women, that you need to be more feminine, you need to be more softer, but you ain't offering no fucking help in alleviating the burdens that make her so hard. See, ain't nobody talking about that particular bullshit, right? Because we got everybody telling everybody what in the hell you need to be, how it ought to be, how it should be. But ain't nobody offering no solution. See, because when you got the weight of the world on your shoulders and you holding that shit down by yourself, that hardens a woman. You got bills to pay. You got kids to take care of. You taking shit from a boss that's an idiot. Your kids is outgrowing their clothes and ain't nobody paying for it but you. People you counting on to help you do these things ain't coming through for you. And the car got the fucking nerve to want to not start in the morning. Where the softness at in your vibration in an experience like that? We ain't got no mercy in this fucking world. And I know I'm all in masculine energy with this. Whatever. Because we got to learn the art of compassion and being able to see the bigger picture. Well, I disapprove of that expression. I don't like the way this energy is being expressed. And you ain't thinking about the circumstance. Because we get put in positions where we got to be hard. I don't know how you expect a woman to be 100% in feminine energy and she got to get up and go to work in the morning just like you. Take care of the household. And a lot of women, especially in my experience, because I'm a woman's advocate, so let's not get it twisted. Where there's many of us that got to get up early in the morning, we got to go to work, and we still hold the responsibility and the obligation of being the sole care provider of the children, being the chief person in charge of meal cooking, cleaning up the house, the laundry, and whatnot. And I used to feel some type of way. Because even though, my husband, he was working too, he did his thing, but he would carry the garbage to the curb and sit back with the remote in his hand. Now, if he would have had the audacity, after I've been at work, going through changes, and I'm at home wrestling place together, and he had the audacity to tell me, then I ain't being woman enough, and ain't none of these burdens being eliminated and lifted for me, that wouldn't have turned out so good. Harmonizing is the key. And that's not saying that we navigate through life being the pissed off, angry Black woman, because that bullshit needs to die. And that don't mean we put our foot in our men's asses, because men is real simple. They are not as complicated as we are. They ain't going to read your fucking energy. You must let them know what you need. Assertive energy. Harmonizing that energy is key. And you got to know your energy cycles. And shout out to the Self-Invested Astrology class for helping us learn our energy cycles according to how the moon is. That right there, not only was this something that we already know, like we're affected differently by the moon, right? We already know that. But to have that mapped out, it made perfect sense. It was so gangster. You got to take the class if you want to know, but I will give you this so that you can work with this. On the new moon, pay very close attention to how you feel. And every 7 days, take note, keep a journal for every moon cycle, full moon cycle. Keep a journal of how your moods are. And do that consistently for 3 moon cycles. This is going to give you an idea of how that shit works. No doubt. It's gangster. And it also really assists you in being able to navigate niggatry and all types of other shit in your life. You got to know this shit. That's all the awareness. And then the mentality we get into, where we ain't letting too much shit steal our joy. And when you know better, you start doing better. And so that means you start shifting into that whole self-care, where we start nurturing ourselves. That self-love, where we creating boundaries, because we don't need that aggravation in our life. We start living sucker-free. And when I'm saying sucker-free, I'm not talking about just the suckers in this world, because there's some sucker motherfuckers out in this world. Let's not get it twisted. But sucker-free talks about a time where you're feeling that toxic overload. No chemicals, all natural. And when you are incorporating that self-care and nurturing yourself and everything, sometimes we get in the habit of getting all of these products, all of these other things that we need, and they load it up with chemicals and everything. And all you really need in your life in these streets is just the very, very basics. I got my trinity, I call the three that I keeps on deck: baking soda, apple cider vinegar, and peroxide. Now the baking soda, it absorbs negativity. I like putting that shit in my bath water, especially for this full moon energy and everything. And I'm setting my intention and everything. And that definitely helps to pull away from all of those low vibrational energies that's not helping you to support your goals, your intentions, whatever you're doing. Yeah. Apple cider vinegar. I done heard the stories about how you shouldn't take it in, but I'm gonna tell you something. It ain't did nothing but help me out. I don't mean it messed with my stomach after a while, so I don't do it like I used to and everything. But it has helped me out. It's helped me lose weight. It's helped to clear up my skin. It's just helped on so many levels. But lately, how I've been dealing with it is like putting it in my hair and using it as a really good hair rinse. You can put it in your bath water and really help to cleanse your aura with that as well. It's really excellent for your skin. Like, it just has so many healing properties. The shit is magical. It stinks though. You can move, you figure that shit out. Don't put the apple cider vinegar and baking soda together in a tub. I don't know if that's gonna turn out good. You know, I remember the volcano experiment in school, so whatever. Hydrogen peroxide is a gangster to have. I'm gonna tell you something. This the science for free. That hydrogen peroxide can cure a whole bunch of shit. You got acne, soak you a cotton ball in some hydrogen peroxide and use it like an astringent. That should have cleared that up. You get bumps like right around the menstrual cycle around your nose. That used to happen to me. That stopped. I'm so grateful. It'll deal with it. It will brighten up your skin. You can swish it in there and get rid of any gums bleeding and shit like that. Rinse that shit out real thoroughly, because it can eat up the enamel in your teeth, because peroxide is gangster. I keep a little bit of peroxide in a spray bottle in my car, because you just never know. I keeps that shit on deck. You got an ear infection, you can drop a couple of drops of peroxide in your ear, and this shit will clear up real quick. You can drop a little bit of peroxide in your nose, and it'll help clear up any of those sinus infections, shit like that. I remember telling a friend about hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide has been used to get rid of urinary tract infections on the fly. Like you suffering and doubling over in pain and everything, get you some hydrogen peroxide and address the area. Then rinse it or not, whatever. It will help you out tremendously. Get you some cranberry juice, real cranberry juice. We showing up at the damn emergency room, medicating ourselves. They love that shit, you know. It's what's hot in the streets these days. But you get these three gangsters right here, street called straight. That's all in that mentality. Now, I'd be amiss if I didn't talk about showing up. That's another thing about being intentional and knowing the energy of your intentions, right? And I like to use the element system, the earth, air, fire, and water to help to get me in alignment with whatever my intention is. I'm going to a cookout. I might want that earth energy. Earth is connected, for me, it's connected to comfort, that athletic, that sporty look. It's more of a practical vibe. The air is more of that business, that formal, if I'm trying to make an impression. The fire is that bold, that chic look, you know what I'm saying? When I'm really trying to show up, I got some fire on today. The water is that flowing and free vibe where you trying to have that whole relaxed, chill, peaceful type of vibe going on. Then I get into my water energy clothes. And it's not necessarily connected to the colors per se, but more the energetic flow of the clothes, you know. I like clothes, so yeah. But you know, I'm big on that. Another thing of self-love that I can just really get y'all here to get you a closet full of show stoppers. Show stoppers is those outfits that really help you feel connected to your star player. When you showing up, you ain't feeling no type of insecure. You in your power. Showstopper. Get you a closet full of that. Hey, I made it my business to get rid of everything in my closet that I wasn't feeling. So even if I'm showing up at the gym, I'm showing up on point. Now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, how fly you go get with your hair in a scarf and everything, and a sweatband on your head and everything. That's not the point. If I'm going for a walk in the park, I got my fly ass sweatsuit on. I'm showing up regardless. I'm doing the goddamn thing. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing up always. I don't give a damn if it's not appreciated from somebody that want to show up not being a showstopper. Shakesha will, I promise you. And these are the things that enhance us, that assist us in moving into our most appealing self. And these are the things that we do to get us in alignment, as spoken about in this holistic appeal. Of course, it goes into more detail. We're getting in tune with your most appealing self. And we talking about those things like your diet and cleaning that up, because that's going to help you not only gain that mental clarity, it's going to help you look better, and it's going to help you feel better. See, because when your mind is clear, you process in the world in a higher vibration way. And so your emotions and your expression out here in these streets is going to be a whole different way. And instead of you showing up being the mischief maker and the rabble rouser, you are showing up encouraging, supporting, and attaboy girl and folks out here, and they are glad to see you coming. You gonna want that. That exercise is medicinal. And as much as I struggle, I go back and forth, I get this cat that gets on my shoulder and say, you know, you ain't got to do that shit. You ain't really got to get up and do all of that. I mean, shit, you did it yesterday. You don't need all of this. You know, it's cold out there. There's a lion in the street. You might get ate up out here. Go on and get it. I'm here to tell you, every time I get myself in the routine of exercising, I feel so much better. My mind is so much clearer. My confidence is so much higher. and the way that I process this world around me is so much lighter. It is so beneficial for me. I'm gonna have to play this back so I can hear me saying this, because I need this. And I fail to do this routinely sometimes. Today, that was old cycle shit. Today, it's a part of the routine. Now, I'm not going to make no damn commitment to daily. I got to do it or I have failed in this life. It is a part of my routine. I'm making it my ritual. The supplements that are out there. Miss Blue got me hip to these ones by Dr. Weisselman. I forgot what in the hell. I need to grab me some of those. They got a lot of B vitamins and everything. They make you feel a lot better. But see, I'm one of them people. I need a miracle pill, feeling better and all of that shit, because then after a while, it's like, not so much. But it definitely works. The signature scent. Another thing, the posture. I heard this chick, what is it? Mel Robbins, I think that's her name. And if not, my bad. But shout out to her, who talks about high-fiving yourself every day to help to shift you into the frequency of getting shit accomplished. Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's right in line, because I like to give myself a kiss before I leave. When I look in the mirror, there's a mirror by my door and everything. Give myself a kiss. It just gives me the kiss of life, like the Sade song. You gave me a kiss of life, kiss of life. Oh, I gotta find that shit. That was my jam. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's all I wanted to say today. I want y'all to check out this holistic appeal. And even if you ain't in a space where you trying to read a book, I'm thinking about, never mind. I'm gonna leave that right there. Listen to this. Recognize what's real. Let's get it, y'all, out here in these streets. Sexual energy, creative energy, healing energy. We go get this shit. And we go get this shit in a mighty, mighty, mighty and powerful way. Hold up. Because getting in alignment with our most appealing self, we need to recognize. We need to recognize right now. Don't let nobody tell you you can't get in alignment with your most appealing self. Don't let nobody tell you that being sexy is being slutty, because those are two different frequencies. Don't let nobody tell you that you too mannish and you going through some damn changes. Make the adjustment in yourself. Don't do it because somebody told you to shift. I've done that. I get it. I got a lot of masculine energy too. But we got to really have mercy on each other. Let's stop doing this. Let's stop beating each other up, and let's walk aware. Word? Word. I just wanted to say that. Peace and light. Peace and love. No matter what people say, we got it going on. Won't you come and show me how to do that, baby? No matter what people say, we got it going on. Peace and light, peace and love.